society representing a state. I don't know if you can pull it off in too many other factor world. What you have people who are ostensible insiders and ostensible outsiders. People who are authentic Goans, quote unquote, and people who are neo-Goans. You have people who are born all over the world, probably a dozen countries here, and yet everyone works together for really the best of causes, which is our culture. And it reflects, I think, as you see in the artwork that you see inside, the music that we've listened to, it reflects this marvelous, conjoined, confluential cultural heritage that Goa has that we should be proud of. I am super proud to be a member of this group, and I think that it says something that it's been able to last for 21 years and do the work that it has with the kind of founding fathers and mothers that it had. So first of all, a big hand to Poonam and Prajal and Heta and all the other members. I know there are many others who I have not yet mentioned, but it's a fantastic thing. I'm proud to be a member. 21 years, over 21 years, the Goa Heritage Action Group has done some amazing things. When it first began, as all many of you here will remember, those who've been paying attention for 21 years, when it first began, there was very little reliable information, actually scientifically vetted, historically accurate information on Goa. There were a few cliches, there were kind of broad stereotypes that were circulating about Goa. What is Goa? What is Goan art? What is Goan food? What is Goan music? What is even the architecture? There were very often slurs. At that time, the Heritage Action Group, in its wisdom, with under the leadership of Prabha, who's not with us, decided to put together a magazine called Parmal. And Parmal was a very valuable publication. I think they had something like maybe 10 issues over the course of 9 issues, over the course of a decade. But Parmal was very valuable because at a time when there was no information, no reliable information on Goa, it collected it and what was out there. And Prabha did a great job of reaching out to writers, historians, academics, but also fiction writers and poets and photographers and put together a lovely magazine. Fast forward to 2021, and we kind of have the opposite problem that we did 21 years ago. That is, we are now, partly due to the internet and social media, also due to the interest that Goa kind of draws from around the world, we are inundated in a flood, a torrent of very bad information. Today, if you reach out and try to Google, for instance, which everyone does to get their information, if you Google something as simple as Goan food or Reshiat masala or anything really that has to do with Goa, Fado or Mando, all those ovios that you heard, you are likely to get a torrent of bad information. So there's a huge amount of noise. In that environment, thanks to the leadership of the Goa Heritage Action Group and a wonderful editorial directorship, and under Heta's leadership as the publisher, we are now about to unveil what I think is going to be, and hope is going to be, a game changer for information resources that has to do with Goa. This is the prospective cover and the first edition of Parmal. Parmal in its new avatar is going to come out 4 times a year. It is not in the form of a magazine, but in the form of a beautifully produced paperback book of around 400 pages. It's going to be packed with reliable information, artwork, drawings, illustration, history, short stories, poetry, everything that you care about, everything that we produce in tremendous quantity in Goa of the highest level, but we very rarely get to see in one place. So the first issue, next year, there will be 4 issues coming. Each one is going to be on a theme. The first issue, this is only a mock-up. The first issue will have this, most likely, we have some alternate images, but the first issue is going to have this cover by Solomon Souza, the grandson of F.N. Souza, who's in Israel. We also have some alternate images. And the future issue, it's on the theme of music. Future issues will have different themes which connect to Goan culture. Some of the contributors for this include Ananya Jahanara Kabir, whose essay on Mando is a game changer again in itself for our approach to one of our greatest music forms. We have an essay by Anjali Arundekar, who is a professor at the University of Santa Cruz, who is an expert on the Gomantak Maratha Samaj, and she's written about the tradition of the Gomantak Maratha Samaj. We have a photo reminiscence and an oral history by Christine Correa, who is Mickey Correa's daughter, the great jazz man. We have an original short story by. We have an excerpt of those beautiful ovios in translation by Heta Pandit, as an essay, a beautiful essay about them. We have Naresh Fernandez on Lorna and jazz. We have Nicole Ann Lobo, who's an academic at Princeton University, writing about the great fusion jazzman Amancio de Silva. We have another oral history by Patricia Rosario, the wonderful soprano from of Goan origin from Bombay. We have a set of translated short stories on a musical theme from 1920 by Paul Melo Castro from the original Portuguese. We have our own Prita Sardesai's beautiful essay on Kirtan with some gorgeous photographs to go along with it. We have one of our absolute points of pride is a very long, superb essay on the jewels of Hindustani classical music from Goa. Many people do not know that Goa has one of the great traditions of Hindustani classical vocalists. That's written by Rajan Parikar, and along with it, we have exclusive portraits, very, very beautiful portraits of these classical musicians done by Sonia Rodriguez Sabawal, who's here. I would have liked to share those, but I didn't really have time. We have Remo Fernandez writing about his own idol, who is Bob Marley, the great Remo Fernandez. We have Rukmini Guha Thakurta, who is one of India's leading magazine designers. She's responsible for the design, but she's also a member of the choir that Santiago, Maestro Santiago Lusardi conducted, and she's written a tribute to Santiago, who passed away earlier this year due to COVID. And then we have an essay on Sonia Shisat by Jose Lorenzo. So this is just to give you a glimpse of what's coming. In about a month, it will be out. It's going to be affordable. I think it's going to be a collector's item. And then you'll have a rapid series of these issues coming out over the course of the next year and moving forward. It's something I think that we can all be proud of, and I'm super glad that it is going to be associated with the excellent work of the Goa Heritage Action Group. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Parma.